Welcome back, y'all. This is the Bluechip Breakdown, and I'm your host, Bull. I'm going to try to be kind of brief with this just because I'm still not feeling too well. I was not planning on going live, but after I saw what they did to our volunteers, I had to come in here. I had to get some thoughts off of my chest. I want for y'all to kind of get y'all's out too. I probably won't be able to get to all the comments, but please do make sure to like and subscribe. Man, look, this is ridiculous, okay? This is cheating at its finest, 100%. I mean, 1,000,000% bias. Look at these rankings right here. So Tennessee somehow ends up behind Ohio State. No one knows why. We talked about it. We broke it down. We said, look, if you look at what's been happening, okay, teams have dropped at least 5 spots. And it was only 5 spots if they had lost at home to an unranked team. Ohio State went out there and lost to a sorry-ass Michigan team at home, okay, at home. And I'm happy that I didn't do this immediately because I was even more fired up than this. They dropped them down 4 spots and keep them ahead of Tennessee so that they can get a first-round home game. Okay, I might have said first-round bye early, but I meant first-round home game. So that's very frustrating. Now, I don't care about playing Ohio State. I really don't necessarily too much care that we have to go there and play. But my problem is if that was going to happen, it should have happened in a different round, which we all know that can't happen. Tennessee deserved a first-round home game, and they literally just stole that away from us. So at this point, and actually, let me go ahead and scroll this on over because I haven't even too much talked about any of the other rankings and stuff. But let's look at the actual bracket so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Tennessee is now seated at number 9. Ohio State is seated ahead of us at number 8. So like I said, I can't wait, okay, if it stays like this, which that daggum clown, whatever the hell his name is, up there saying some dumb stuff. I'm watching it. I'm so fired up. I can't understand what he's saying, but I heard a little bit about Alabama, something about teams are going to stay put. Bro, just get us to the games. Get us to the games. Who's going to be refing them? Are y'all going to have Big Ten refs in there? Are y'all going to put the fix in for that too? Those are my questions now because that's how it feels like things are trending. Our team, everybody from top to bottom, all the coaches, all the staff members, damn sure all the players ought to be very pissed off, very, very fired up. Our Vols are playing right now in a big-time ball game at home versus Syracuse, looking very good right now with the, black and orange jerseys. Everything looks lovely right there. I can't really even enjoy this game because of what they've done to our volunteers. It makes me sick. It makes me absolutely sick. Ohio State sucks. Michigan sucks. Indiana sucks. Penn State sucks. Oregon sucks. The Big Ten sucks. All those teams are about to get blasted by the SEC. And oh, by the way, y'all messed up putting Bama in there. Y'all know that, right? Y'all messed up giving us 4 SEC teams. That's who's it's gonna be an SEC national title unless they do something to fix that, which I would not be surprised if they do. I wouldn't be surprised, y'all, if they end up, with the conference championship losers somehow either bumping ahead of Tennessee or behind Tennessee to bump us up. And hey, maybe we could still get a first-round home game. That's fine, but it'll probably be versus an SEC team. That's fine too. The whole point here is they do not want the Big Ten to have to face, in any fair way, shape, form, or fashion, the SEC. And I don't give a damn about everybody else, okay? SMU's garbage. Now, I'm not worrying about them at all. Boise State's a joke. They shouldn't even be in here. Notre Dame's actually pretty solid, okay? Notre Dame's they're actually pretty solid, but, they can get it too. Arizona State, I think that they're doing some pretty nice things. I didn't mention Penn State earlier. I'm not going to say that they suck, but y'all get my point. I am very, very frustrated, but let me go ahead and get to some of y'all's chats. Let me see some of y'all's thoughts while we are in here. Right here from J. Lore. What's going on, J. Lore? Saying, I'd rather have gotten the 10th, 11th, or even the 12th seed. Really? Now, I wonder why that is. I hope it's not because you're scared of Ohio State or going up there, because I'm not. One of my questions coming into this season is how will Nico deal with the cold? Now, the cold up there is going to be different from what Nico saw last weekend in Nashville, but he showed that he could play just fine, and the whole team showed that they could play just fine in it. If they're motivated, okay, they get up for this game, which I would fully expect that they would. We are going to dominate Ohio State. We match up very well with them, and I've told y'all that since preseason. But even after watching all the film that P and I do on this channel, I feel even more confident about that game. They have nothing for us. They just lost to a bum-ass Michigan team. They suck. All right, I'm not scared of them by any means. Brent Delogier. Okay, I apologize if I mispronounced your name, but what's going on, Brent? Saying no matter what, I think we can go to Ohio State and beat them just like Michigan did. 100%. I mean, 100%. And if you look at any of their other games, I mean, the Cornhuskers almost got them inside of that stadium. They were losing to Penn State. Penn State's offense is very, very lackluster. They don't have nearly as much talent. There's not as much twitch on that team as Tennessee has. We are going to pose some very major problems for them because to beat Ohio State, all you got to do is either play cover 2 or play man. That's it. I mean, the play calling, it's like watching a high school coach dial up plays. It is so basic. It is so fundamentally, unsound. It's boring. But my whole thing is this, and even with their defense, they've got some nice pieces, but we can run the ball on them. We can throw the ball on them. It's very similar. They're like, I would say, 7 or 8 notches down below where Georgia is. That's about where the Buckeyes are. Okay. Yes, they are talented, but they're really not that daggone good. Let me try to get to some more of these right here from Brian Staley. What's going on, Brian? So I think that you're the uncle of one of our players, ain't you? What's going on, though, man? Saying snubbed, the committee got it wrong. Yeah, I already know, man. They're gonna keep on doing it until we at some point just go to a whole different system, which is gonna have to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if, and I'm gonna tell y'all too, for anybody that gets on Twitter or social media, as Vol fans, you need to be vocal. I think as SEC fans, we need to be vocal, because putting Alabama in over Ole Miss, I think that's a crime. South Carolina, I could kind of understand that argument because they lost to Ole Miss and to Alabama. But I think that the SEC has got to make enough noise that Sankey says, look, the team that voted on this stuff this season, they're gone. Okay, like I don't care what the rules are, because he has that much pull. Get them clowns out of there, dude. They have no idea what they're doing. They're horrible. Right here from CTB Spiffy says they basically said we're going to put Tennessee over there with the Big Ten teams like we can't beat them. And yeah, you know what? I think that that's what they tried to do. But that does bring me to the point that I had kind of made earlier, that I think that after these conference championship games, they're going to reslot all this stuff, because they're going to rethink and they say, oh, okay, wait a second. Ohio State, Ryan Day's on the hot seat. They just lost at home to Michigan. Is Tennessee better than Michigan? Yeah, probably by, they're like way, way, way better. Do we really want to do that and make sure that Ryan Day's fired? And maybe they do. You know what I'm saying? But maybe they look at some of these other Big Ten teams and say, honestly speaking, we've been beating our chest, but we know whenever push comes to shove, we don't want that type of smoke. I think that they are going to reseed all this stuff and put SEC on SEC and probably Big Ten versus, the scrubbiest teams that they could possibly find, because that's what they do. That's how they do. Let me try to get you some more of these, y'all. I'm real fired up if y'all can't tell, man. All right, so Adam Fowler saying, what's the point of being in the SEC if you can play garbage all year and get into playoffs? Hey, that's an excellent point right there, Adam, because wouldn't you think, wouldn't you just say to yourself, okay, we've got a Boise State team in here that's group of 5. They don't play anybody. And it's funny because I heard other people talking about that today, about how, the resources are different between them and the Power 4 teams. Well, no crap, Sherlock. I mean, obviously, it's the same thing with the SEC versus everybody else. There's like 3 teams in the Big Ten that can compete. Okay, and I wish that they would put out how much money they're spending on all these programs for everybody so that we can see what the difference is. It just means more in the SEC. That is a very factual statement. It means a whole lot more down here. So we've got better players. We've got better resources, better team doctors, better everything, right? We have better training. We have better fields. We have better stadiums. We have the best of the best of the best. So why then would you put in a Boise State group of 5 team with the first round bye potentially, which that might get switched up? But then also, why do you put in teams like Alabama that, has already lost 3 games over some of these other teams that I think were maybe a little bit more deserving? And really, I could look at the Big Ten and say Indiana hasn't played a soul all season long. How are they in over? There's like 10 SEC teams that I'm very positive would beat Indiana, and there's 7 or 8 of them that would beat the brakes off of Indiana. So I just this whole thing, y'all. It is a travesty. It's a travesty. It's a shame. I feel bad for these kids. I feel bad for these kids that are putting in all this work, that are having to deal with all the backlash if they don't play well. I mean, they're having to deal with a lot just to get slighted because these people have some sort of a bias. That's not fair. That rubs me wrong, and it gets me fired up. Timmy G, what's going on, Tim? Said I wanted a home game, but I'm happy we get to play Ohio State. Yeah, honestly speaking, I mean, that's one of the you wanted one of the Big Ten teams, right? First round, any of them. I don't care. Bring us any of them. That's a very easy matchup for us. That's going to be, I think we're going to absolutely dominate Ohio State. And actually, I might start doing a little bit of film breakdown of that coming out tomorrow. Eric B. Jones, what's going on, Easy E? Saying that that's BS. Our Vols should be ranked ahead of OSU. And hosting them, not OSU hosting us. Ward Manuel, that's his name, is a cheating POS, 1,000%. From Vols all day, I knew they would cheat us. BS, if dogs lose, we will move up and host. So that's another part that's pretty interesting to me. I'm curious what's going to happen if Oregon loses, okay? Would they drop below Ohio State? And then what happens if, like you said, if Georgia loses, would they drop below us? Like, I mean, there's a lot of different moving pieces to it. But I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Oregon can stay ahead of Tennessee and then Georgia would drop below us just because there's a whole lot of Big Ten bias. Let me scroll up. I know there's a whole lot of chats in here, y'all. Got a super chat right here from my dog, 10 Vols 1084 for $19.99. Thank you so much for that. Saying, I feel you, Bull. You think they dropped the conference title losers? Very good question. I'm going to get to that in just a second. I have confidence against Ohio State if we come to play. A game in Neyland is rapture. Yeah, let me go ahead and get to this clip for you real quick as soon as I can find it. Oh, hold on. Wrong one. All right, here we go. All right, thank you. But yeah, so we were just kind of touching on that. I don't know what they're gonna do. I had some things that I went through all the trouble of trying to put some logic to it. But what I really messed up at, y'all, is there's no rhyme or reason to any of this stuff. There's no real logic. They're gonna put in whoever they want to put in. It's about the matchups that they want to see. It's about where's the most money gonna come from. That's kind of what I think. But it kind of feels like there's just so much more bias towards the Big Ten. So I mean, man, y'all's guess is as good as mine on that. So I know that there's probably a lot of other really good thoughts in here. There was something else that I was going to show y'all that I found pretty interesting. So bear with me. I'm going to try to pull this website up for y'all because this is something that we actually looked at the other day. So looking at this, right, we talked about it whenever we kind of broke down why Tennessee should be ranked ahead of Ohio State. And at that point, Tennessee was number 6. Ohio State was number 7. But Ohio State is at number 6 right now. Tennessee is at number 7. And that could be just because of, how some of the rankings and things like that changed from the CFP. If that's the case, it happened very, very quickly with ESPN. But, I mean, ESPN's running the playoffs, so they probably already had this information. Probably could have looked here first. We'll test that theory out next week or, I think that would be next week or whenever that is. Either way, I found this pretty interesting because I don't know who Ohio State beat that moved up enough to switch that just from like a couple of days, right? Like that's crazy to me. But even if you look at the strength of schedule, they're saying that their strength of schedule is 26th and ours is somehow 28th. I disagree with that thoroughly. And I don't care that you've got Oregon up there and Penn State because both of those teams are very average. Like there would be average SEC teams. And the SEC teams that Tennessee faced, I think are being underrated. So there's a whole lot of weird stuff going on, y'all. And I'm not a big everyone's out to get us sort of a person necessarily, but in this situation, it's pretty hard to. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But you know what? Just real quick, let me touch on some other things here. It's crazy that Alabama, we kind of talked about them. It looks like. Let's see. So Alabama versus Notre Dame, that's going to be a pretty good one. Penn State obviously is going to get Arizona State. That's not a good matchup for Penn State, though. I'm going to tell you all that right now. I don't think that's a very good matchup for them. And it looks like the winner between us and Ohio State gets to play Oregon, and then the winner of Penn State and Arizona State would get to play Boise State. We all know Boise State's going to lose to whoever they play. And if it stayed this way, then the winner of Georgia, Indiana, which we all know would be Georgia, would have to play Texas. So you can see they're already, it looks like this is kind of, but shoot, Alabama, man, if they beat Notre Dame, they get to go play SMU. Come on, bro. Come on. Just stop it. They've got to do something different. That's my whole point right there. They've got to do something different. I'm seeing a whole lot of good stuff in here, y'all, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because, like I said, I'm not feeling too well, but I just want to come in here real quick, just give some very brief thoughts. We might come back and talk about it some more tomorrow. I want to finish watching Tennessee play. Is Zakai hitting Zakai about to get the 4-point play, and I'm happy to see him, finding his shot because we definitely need that. Our basketball team is ranked number 3 too. If y'all didn't know that, the basketball team I think is going to be better than it was last season. So that's a very positive thing. And look, let me end y'all also with this: we're going to be fine. It don't matter who we play. I told y'all that from Jump Street. I really don't care who we play. I want that consistency. I don't like to see the bias. That's why I'm fired up. It's not because I don't care who was anybody. It would not matter. I think Tennessee can beat anybody that's in this 12-team playoff field. So that's got to make you feel good as a Vol fan. But We will see y'all. We will have some more things coming out, but thank y'all so much for tuning in here real quick. And if you're watching this on the rewatch, please do leave your comments and thoughts and concerns and all that type of stuff. But y'all also please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks. Peace.